Hi guys, it's Lindsay and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing some packing and prepping for my trip to London and Paris, which is exactly 1 week from today, which is both super exciting and also a little intimidating because I just feel like I have 100 things I need to do before we leave and I haven't really finished packing, but I thought we could maybe work on that together, try on a bunch of outfits and kind of go through my mindset when it comes to packing, because a lot of the YouTube videos that I've watched on packing for 2-week trips to Europe are all about efficiency. And I totally get wanting to utilize the space that I have the best way, but I also don't want to only bring one pair of shoes to London and Paris. I want to wear my best possible outfits and also leave a little room in my suitcase for all the shopping I'm going to be doing, because let's be real, that's like why I'm going to London and Paris, is to eat food and shop. That's what you do there, and I'm so excited about it. I am a very visual person, so I like to lay out all of my outfits and the pieces that I'll need in a document. You can also do this just on the floor, take photos of your pieces and like lay them all next to each other. I really like using the app Freeform. It's free if you have a MacBook and it just makes things so much easier. So far, I'm thinking 6 tops, 4 sweaters, 3 pairs of bottoms, 2 evening dresses, 2 pieces of outerwear, 3 shoes, and some Uniqlo heat tech and underwear for wearing under everything. I feel like that should be a pretty good amount of pieces. Now to choose the items. For tops, I am gonna bring 4 of these boxy white t-shirts. This is just my most worn cut of shirt. I can wear it underneath all of my sweaters, and I know I'll be wearing it on my travel days because I feel like the temperature on the plane and in trains is just really unpredictable. So I like the ability to have my arms out. I'm also bringing a white stretchy long sleeve and a classic black turtleneck. Both of these I can wear on their own with a jacket or with a sweater layered, just depending what the weather feels like. I feel like they are just some great versatile options to have. I just love a black turtleneck in the fall and winter. I feel like it is so classic and chic, but obviously if that's not your vibe, just go with a scoop neck, also classic. Sweaters were by far the hardest area of my wardrobe to narrow down because I love a chunky, oversized knit, but when traveling, I honestly think the thinner, the better. So all of these are cashmere, they're very packable, and they're all slightly more fitted sweaters because that is just the style that I feel like I've been leaning towards. So I'm packing this red sweater from Reformation. It is their boyfriend sweater. This gray cardigan from Reformation, it is their Clara cardigan, and probably my most worn. You've definitely seen me wear it. It's just the perfect sweater. A sleeveless cashmere turtleneck. This one is from Quince. I feel like sometimes you do want to have your arms out when you like enter a pub and you take off your jacket. So this I feel like is a good option. This shrunken cable knit sweater, also from Quince. And this last minute edition of an Everlane V-neck cropped sweater because I tried this on in the store and just absolutely loved it. So you'll see it in the try on clips, but I just feel like, I don't know, is 5 sweaters too much? I'm gonna be wearing them like every day. I'm also packing a scarf. This is from Saison and the color is so beautiful. It's just gonna be my pop of color really throughout the whole trip since I don't wear a ton of color. And I love that this one is long enough that you can really wrap it around your head and kind of turn it into a makeshift balaclava or hood. Let me show you. Like this, and tuck it into your coat, and it's pretty adorable. For evening dresses, I actually decided to narrow it down to 1 because this dress is very unique. The cut of it makes it so I can wear heat tech leggings and a heat tech undershirt because of how high the neck is, and I just think it'll be really cute with either of my jackets and my boots. So this one is coming with me, and I'm gonna save some room in my suitcase for maybe picking up another evening dress or a skirt because there's so much vintage shopping to be done, and I just don't want to go in with too many pieces in my suitcase, if that makes sense. We got to manifest a little bit. I am packing 3 different washes of jeans, which might sound like a lot to some people, but I love wearing jeans and I feel like these are all going to be styled so differently and they look so different, at least to me. Some light wash vintage Levi's. These are probably my most worn style of jean for everyday wear. They are just easy, they're casual, and they're super comfortable because they're vintage. But I also have a charcoal wash of that same cut, and I just feel like these can be dressed up a little bit more. They have a different look to them. And this dark indigo pair of selvage denim from Buck Mason. These are actually the first pair of selvage denim I've ever owned, so they have a totally different feel to them. They're almost like canvas. They feel so stiff. They are just going to wear so beautifully with time, but I wanted to bring them on this trip because I also feel like the darker the denim, the easier they are to dress them up at night, so it just adds to the pairs I'm already bringing. For outerwear, I'm packing this boxy leather jacket, which I'm most likely going to wear on the plane because it is the heaviest thing that I am bringing, and my Clyde coat from Saison, which is just a classic trench coat. Everyone online recommended that I bring these two instead of my wool coats because it's not quite that cold yet, but another option would definitely be to bring a wool coat and a leather jacket, or a wool coat and a trench coat. For shoes, I'm packing these New Balance 201L sneakers. This is going to be my most supportive and comfortable shoe. I feel like the taupe color is perfect for fall and they draw less attention to your feet than like a super bright white sneaker would, which just isn't my favorite look with jeans. But when you're traveling and you're on your feet all day at museums and coffee shops, doing all of my favorite things, I don't want to be thinking about my feet. So I am packing 1 pair of sneakers, 1 pair of loafers. These I find very comfortable and I wore them all over New York when we went last. So I know I can get a pretty good amount of walking in these before my feet start to hurt. These will be like my second line of defense. And my moto boots, which I can dress up or down. They'll look great with my evening outfits and my daytime outfits. They're not the most practical. They're pretty chunky. I'm gonna have to wear them on the plane, but that is what happens when you prioritize fashion. And sometimes it's worth it, but I can let you guys know after my trip what decisions I made that were good ones and which ones were bad ones. I also wanted to mention this little crossbody bag that I got for this trip because I normally wouldn't buy a handbag for a trip, but my everyday bag is this big Bottega shoulder bag, and not only is the bag worth a lot, but it's also just not practical when you're wearing coats and you're going a lot of places. I just wanted something smaller that was close to my body and could fit under my coats, and this one truly checked off all of my boxes because you do want to be aware of your surroundings and keep all of your belongings close to you when you're traveling. I feel like that goes without saying for anywhere that you go where you're not familiar and you're going to be looking on your phone a lot, so this was important to me. Then from there, I take all of those individual pieces and duplicate them a ton of times to see how many different options I can make, which I know this is where it's getting a little bit crazy. You don't have to do this, but that's what I'm doing. Kind of like you're dressing up an online doll. And then I actually laid out the days of the week that I'm traveling and put those outfits on those days of the week with the different activities that we're doing. I find it to be very helpful to visualize the outfits in the different locations and say to myself, oh yeah, I actually do really need a boot if I'm going to X, Y, and Z, or maybe I don't want to wear that sweater because I'm wearing a different one that looks kind of similar to it on the document. So that's the way that I do things, but I'm also just gonna try on all the outfits for you. Sometimes things will look different in your head than they actually do on your body, and so you just want to make sure that you like how everything looks so that that doesn't happen to you when you're on your vacation. Today's video is also sponsored by Squarespace. If you haven't heard of Squarespace, they are an all-in-one platform that makes it easier than ever to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, sell product, and so much more. I've been using Squarespace for years, and it's what I recommend to all of my peers in creative fields because you don't need to have any knowledge of coding to create a beautiful website that fulfills all of your needs. They have thousands of professional templates that are completely customizable, the ability to get custom domains, built-in AI technology, which is super helpful when writing product descriptions or even just getting started. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/lindseyrem to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I had so much fun making it, and I will let you guys know if I did a good job packing or if I forgot anything major when I come back from this trip so that you guys can learn from my mistakes. I will see you guys later. Bye.